How's it going, you guys? My name is Miguel. Welcome back to SoCal Watch Reviews. Today, I'm going to introduce you to a brand that's located here in Los Angeles, California, Etairos. This is the Mission 71. And this is a very fitting name because they do have a mission. Their mission is saving the ocean. 20% of the profit or of the sales do go to saving the oceans. We'll go more into details within the video. I'll show you the little card, but I wanted to bring awareness because especially now in 2021 there's just so much pollution and just so much bad things going on with the environment that if we could do something, especially as watch enthusiasts, and contribute to the environment and get something in return, I think it's a win-win situation for everybody. So anyway, if you're new here, welcome. We're almost approaching 3,000 subscribers, so every like, every comment, and every subscription definitely helps. So stick around, and thank you so much. Take care. Alright guys, so as I said in the intro, I am really excited to talk about this watch. But first, let's get into the packaging. The packaging is something very unique, something that I've never really seen before. The minute I saw it, it reminded me of those days when I used to go, to the pool or to the beach, and it just looks like a life jacket, right? I'm going to open it up. The watch is not in here because the watch is on my wrist, but let me kind of show you what it is. It's really, really simple. It has this carbon fiber look to it, and the company name right there, Etairos watch company, with the little wave logo that they have right there. Very simplistic. Protectors, of course, case back, and for the dial. And right here, this is super cool. It's a QR code for the user manual. So obviously they're trying to keep it the whole environmental theme by not including a lot of paperwork aside from this. And I want to read this to you really quick because obviously this is the ethos of the company, if you will. It says, "Congratulations and thank you for choosing Etairos Watch Company. Your purchase shows you care about the ocean, and that's awesome. Together we will do our part to ensure the ocean stays clean and healthy because 20% of our purchase will support reefs, remove plastic, and provide funds for scholarships and research. So have fun showing off what's on your wrist." And it does come with a 2-year warranty, and this is actually printed on 100% recycled paper, so that is super cool. Now let's get this out of the way so we could talk about this watch. So the watch is on my wrist. I have a 6 7/8 inch wrist. I'm going to tell you some of these specifications of this watch. This watch does come in at a case of 44 millimeters, lug to lug of 51.7 millimeters. It's 14.8 millimeters thick. Lug width is 22 millimeters. The crown is 7 millimeters, and it weighs in at 127 grams with the supplied rubber strap. So as I said before, obviously you heard a little bit about the company, but Etairos is actually Greek, and it means partner or associate. And the reason is because obviously when you purchase one of these watches, you partner up with the company in trying to save one of the largest resources on earth, and that's the ocean. And the company is located here in California, and it was founded by Dan Arnold. Now Dan, he's a lifelong aficionado of the ocean, if you will, going from LA to Honolulu, Hawaii, surfing, swimming, scuba diving, all that good stuff that people do in the ocean. So he figured, why not do something to change what's going on with the environment, right? So he created this. Now let me take it off the wrist so I could show you a little bit more about the watch and kind of go a little bit more in depth here, right? So one of the striking features about this watch obviously is the size and the color. It's one of the first things that jumps out at you, right? It has this blue and this orange, but if you look closely at the dial, we do find a wave pattern in the middle, which is super cool. Obviously is very fitting to the watch, and this is called the Mission 71. So company Etairos, and this is the Mission 71. We do find, before we go much deeper into the dial, that the sapphire case has AR coating, and it has a little cyclops. Some people may like this, some people may not. I think it's pretty clever. I mean, it helps see the date and magnify the date, and actually does magnify the date pretty good. Yeah, I don't see any blue. I think it's a clear AR coating, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, the dial, that blue, I mean, it's pretty striking. It's one of the first things that really stood out to me with that Rehot in orange. and right there we do find the minute markings, right? So one of the cool things about this watch too that really caught my attention was those hands. So if you can see, I will unscrew the crown right here, and if you can see, I'm going to show you kind of what I mean with those hands. I'll bring it closer to the camera, and if you can see right here, the hand, the hour hand, or the minute hand I should say, has an opening, and if you can see right there, it has the opening. So as it passes through the date, check this out, you could actually still see the date, it doesn't block it. So I think that's very clever. And as you turn it, you could actually see all the indices. It's something different that I've never really seen in other watches. So I think that was a really cool feature. Also, the indices, I don't know if they've been applied. They look a little bit raised, but it's mostly the Loom. And we do find, you know, Mission 71, the water resistance, automatic, and at the 12 o'clock, the company name. And yeah, the dial's actually pretty clean. Put it under macro, and you could actually see that it looks really nice. One of the things that I also wanted to mention about this watch is the Loom. The Loom that they're using is Super Luminova C5, and I think it has plenty of Loom on the indices and the hands. Perhaps I would have liked to see a little bit of Loom on the bezel, but that's fine. You know, it has plenty of Loom. So if you're diving, because, you know, let's face it, this is more of a dive watch or dive style because it's not ISO rated, but you're going to be able to see the hour in the indices underwater or in low light conditions, no problem. It does last a good time. So yeah, I think it has plenty of Loom. I would have liked to see just Loom on the bezel. We do find a unidirectional rotating 120 click bezel. It's pretty easy to grip, not super hard to grip. It doesn't have a lot of backplate either, but one of the interesting characteristics is that you could find the markings in the inside of the bezel between the 20, 30, 40, 50 markings, but on the outer bezel, and I am not going to be able to explain this to you guys, but according to Dan, he was a first responder, and these time measurements on the outside helped them at a glance, I guess, to save a life or something. I don't know the full explanation of that. Somebody can comment in the comment section and maybe let me know a little bit more about that, but I think it's pretty easy to grip. Yeah, not hard at all. It's pretty easy. Another interesting characteristic about this watch is the case design. If you look at it, I mean, it's not round, it's not squared. It's like a mixture of both, right? You have some polishing, some brushing. It's pretty clean, in my opinion. I think it looks really nice. And also, one of the different things about this watch, as opposed to everything else out in the market, is the crown. So it's a screw down crown, and it's at the 2 o'clock, so it makes it look really interesting, right? Almost it resembles like an Omega Seamaster, I suppose, but that's a helium escape valve that's on the other side. But this one has it on this side, and it's pretty easy, you know, to unscrew, screw, as you saw me kind of doing it and playing with the hands right there. So that's pretty simple to do. You screw it back in, and the crown is signed with the company logo. Now let's go into the movement of this watch. This watch actually has the Miyota 9015, which beats at 28,800 beats per hour. It has a 42-hour power reserve, and 24 joules is, you know, accurate to -10 to +30 seconds a day. And in my opinion, it's cool that the company put this kind of movement as opposed to an NH movement in the watch. I think it really shows that they want to give a little bit more to the watch enthusiasts as opposed to just putting an NH movement and charging, you know, $300+. So I think it's really cool. MSRP, by the way, for this guy is $375. I think it's respectable, especially because 20% of the proceeds are going to go to the oceans and to all the things that I mentioned in the beginning of the video. Now, speaking of the strap, this is really nice, actually. The color, obviously, it's very unique. It's blue, but this is really kind of bright, striking blue that may not be able to be suited with everything, but if you change the strap on this, I'm pretty sure you can match it well with other things. We do find, I don't know if you could see the company name right here on one of the sides, right? And then the other one we find the company logo. This is a 22 millimeter with bracelet, and as you can see, it's kind of fixed in there. It doesn't have quick release, but I mean, if you have a tool, you could easily take it out. It is pretty comfortable. I've been wearing it. It's pretty comfortable. Now, speaking of the case back, we do find that it's been engraved, and actually the world right there in the middle is actually raced, so it's pretty cool. It says, you know, Founders Edition. This is number 94 of 500. And what other information you find? Sapphire crystal, automatic, stainless steel, and then this is you know, the 300-meter water resistance, something that I forgot to mention. And it says for our ocean, Etairos. So that is super cool. But my overall thoughts about this watch, well, let me tell you, I think it's a nice looking watch. Clearly not everybody's cup of tea, because, you know, it's a little striking, it's a little big, but in my opinion, I think for what they're doing for the environment, it's a no-brainer. If you want to go help this company out, I definitely think you should. And let me show you, like, kind of throw it back on the wrist real quick so you see what it looks like. Again, I have a 6 and 7/8 inch wrist, so not the biggest wrist, but as you can see, it's not too crazy. I mean, it looks big and a little bold, but this is a summer watch. This is something you would take literally to the beach and know that you're saving the ocean if you have this on your wrist. So guys, girls, please get behind this company. Go to their website. They also feature or sell, I should say, hats and hoodies and t-shirts and whatnot. And if this does very well for them, they're going to bring out different colorways. And, you know, for the negatives, as far as I have, in my opinion, it's just a colorway. I would like to see some gray, some black, nothing too flashy like this. And perhaps, if it's possible, bring it down a little bit. Don't make it so thick, don't make it so big, so it could be a watch that more people could wear. But yeah, that's something I wanted to bring awareness to you guys about this watch company. I will leave all links in the description below. But if you like this video, please comment, like, subscribe. And as always, my friends, stay humble.